Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Dirty Mike's Canadian Corner. T.G.I.F. That's right, folks. It's the weekend. Time to kick back and have some fun, right? Hope everyone's having a great day, great week. The panel link has been posted and pinned. If anyone has the bollocks to come on up, feel free. And in the meantime, we'll constantly remind you, if you got 'em, smoke 'em. Cheers. We'll just sit here and relax until some people show up. Oh, happy days. Oh, girl, what's up? How you doing, my friend? Hope everything's good with you. Things are good with me today. I have an order placed for 5 dozen eggs for my breakfasts. I have my 2 bus fares for tomorrow morning. And tomorrow morning I'm going to pick up a grape ice 1 gram cartridge. That's all being paid for. I ordered dinner also. Yeah, it's been a good day so far. Oh shit. Is she with you? Or are you on the phone with her? I wouldn't mind if you left and spent time with your daughter. I would not mind at all, buddy. Ah, Facebook. Nice. That's down. She is just messaging me in between her friends. Nice. That's down. Oh, pardon me. Nice. Awesome. Someone was asking me, I can't remember who, but when is her birthday? Oh, pardon me. Root beer. Root beer burps. kilometer walk for autism tomorrow. I'm gonna surprise her and show up to walk with her. Sweet. 24th. Got it. Got it. Yeah, it's my brother's birthday today. Well, it would have been my brother's birthday today if he was still with me. Yeah, I ordered a nice Caesar salad with a root beer, topped with a cheese baconator from Wendy's. Baconator! Oh, yeah. $22 later. Her and her cousin raised over $200 at their school. Sweet. That's nice of them. Oh, me too, buddy. Baconator's the shit. Hell yeah. I haven't eaten it yet. I'm gonna wait until 8 o'clock when I finish the show tonight. Then I can watch my wrestling and eat my dinner. The rest of my dinner, I should say. Uh, I don't know. I've been getting in a kick of lately for Subway subs. It's nice and cheap. It's filling. Only bad thing is they have a shitty selection of snacks, desserts, and beverages. Their beverage selection is very shit. The best thing they have is Dr. Pepper, which is okay, but it's not my favorite. It's not even my second or third favorite. So I'm like, Wendy's it is. I was gonna get a frosty instead of a root beer, but eh, I'd rather have a root beer. Yeah, Subway subs are good. Yes, yes, yes. Especially since they added a new ingredient to put on your subs. They put in crispy onions on the menu for toppings, and I love the crispy onions on a sub. Oh my god, with some sriracha sauce. Mmm, yummy. You sound as bad as me, ogre. Yup, yup. Wonder where everyone is. Maybe they're all busy. Maybe they're having dinner. Maybe they're out. Who knows? But I hope they're having fun. Oh, someone. Oh shit! What the fuck? What up,
Hello.
bud?
It's just easier than messaging. No, I'm super picky when it comes to Subway. Like, I love it. It's one of my favorite places. But I have to have it put together in a certain way. And if they don't do it, I'll watch them make the whole thing, and then I'll turn around, walk in, and say, I don't want it. You didn't make it right."
Uh, uh,
And I'm very, very picky. Like I used the cheese bread. I usually get the steak and cheese, but I like a bunch of the other ones. But I usually go. My go-to is the steak and cheese, and it
yeah.
starts off with uh, on the bottom part of the bun. My Subways are made from the bottom up, not the way they do it, where it's all sloppy everywhere. So for me, it's very, very. I have friends that hate going to Subway with me because of it. So it starts from the bottom up. On the bottom of the bun, the bottom bun, you get one strip or one wavy strip of chipotle sauce all the way across the bottom. And then on
Uh,
top of that, some Swiss cheese or regular cheese, whatever,
yep.
right? And then I do my meat. And then on top of the meat, I do my hot peppers, jalapeno peppers, some green peppers, a shit ton of onions. I didn't know they did crispy onions because I haven't been there in a while. And then I put extra cheese on top of it, and then I toast it. And all that melts together, and it heats up the peppers and all the stuff and gets the juices flowing. And then when it comes out, some lettuce, tomatoes, black pepper, and that's it. Maybe some sub sauce on the top bun just to soften it up. And that's how I get my subs. When my daughter was at Sick Kids, I was getting the same thing all the time to the point where I could be in line and the one lady, because at one point in time the subway was would be open until 3 in the morning, and the lady that usually worked the late shift Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. She'd see me in line. People would be lined up. It was the only place that'd be open. But she'd see me in line, and by the time I got to the thing, she'd have mine almost already ready. She had it down pat after the third time. Because I told them, I walked straight up there. I say, "Listen, I know you guys are trained to put it together in a certain way, but I don't like it. I want to put it together my way. And if you don't do it, I'm not going to pay for it." I said, "I'm very picky, but I'm very, easy. If you do what I say, it's going to go down." And they're usually okay, not a problem. And boom, 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 boom. And I've only had a problem with a couple subways. The one that was closest to me when I lived in Toronto, just down the street, they would always just do the way they want it. And a couple times I'd watch them make up 3 or 4 subs. And once they were made and wrapped, I turn around and leave. And they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You didn't make it the way I want it. I'm not paying for it." "You can't do that." I'm like, "Yeah, I can." I'm like, "Your policy says that you make it the way I want." Because they'll even, you remember how Subway used to do the tunnel cut where
Yeah.
they'd scoop out the top,
Yep.
right? If you
Yep.
ask them, they'll still do it that way. They're trained on how to do it, but they don't do it because it's faster now to do it the way they do it. So when they switched over, because one of my favorite subs used to be a meatball sub, and then they would hollow it all out, right? The way they would do it, and they put a little bit of sauce, a bunch of cheese, some onions, some hot peppers, and then you put the meatballs on top with extra cheese,
Uh-huh.
and then um and that was before they did the toasting. Now I do it that way, and I get them to hollow it out, and I get them to put it in and toast it, and all of it just melts together into that tub of bread. It's so good.
They got they got a new steak and cheese there.
Oh yeah, like it's
Yeah.
been
It's a chimichurri, or however you pronounce it.
chimichurri. I
Yeah,
guess so, something like that.
chimichurri, steak and cheese.
Steak and cheese.
Yep.
Like it's different than their Philadelphia steak and cheese one then,
Yes.
because I like the
Well,
Philly steak.
indulge in our chimichurri steak and cheese sub. Tender steak, melted processed cheddar, spinach, tomatoes, green peppers, red onions, and zesty chimichurri sauce.
Yeah, I like chimichurri sauce. I'm not big on the spinach and stuff though.
Yeah, same.
But then again, like I said, I'll never order um Uber Eats or DoorDash, whatever, Subway, because they'll slop it together the way they're told to. And the way they do that is they put the sauce on top of the meat instead of the bun. So when you squeeze it together, everything gets sloppy and slimy. I've seen them put mustard and sub sauce and mayo and all of it on top of the meat, which is like your turkey meats and stuff,
Yep.
and then put the other toppings on top. And when they put the bread on it, just all slops out the side.
Yep. And then it goes all over
You,
your
you can't do that. It's
beard
got
and
to.
in your mustache, all over your lips and cheeks.
Well, not even when they wrap it. By the time you get it home or whatever in delivery, if it is,
True.
all that sauce is dripped out. It's all over everything.
Yep.
Everything's a mess, right?
That is true.
You have to put your sauce on your buns. Why do you think McDonald's has been doing that since they started? They put all their toppings on their buns.
Yep. Yep.
Harvey's used to do it a long time ago, and then they started putting it directly on the meat, and I hated it. Even at Harvey's, I have to tell them, listen, no, the mustard has to go on the bun, all the onions on top of the mustard. Oh, well, we put it on the meat. Yeah, but the meat's greasy, and you put the mustard on the greasy meat, and then you go to fucking slate, and it makes a mess.
Arby's
Oh,
makes
I'm like,
really
yeah, I'm
good
like,
burgers.
there's a proper way
Beautiful
to
thing.
making sandwiches.
Yep. I
I'm
haven't
very
had
picky on all sandwiches.
I haven't had or went to Harvey's in 5 years, 6 years.
Oh yeah, Harvey's has got a good deal right now. Buy one Angus burger, you get one free. So when I have at the beginning of the month, when I had some an extra bit of cash, delivered, it's $11 for two Angus burgers made the way I want.
The only thing I don't like about Harvey's, you have to pay for the cheese separate, you have to pay for the bacon separate.
Yeah,
They don't have a cheeseburger, they don't have a bacon cheeseburger, they don't have a bacon burger. You have to add that shit.
yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I do agree with you on that. There's too much adding. Like,
Yep.
if like say I was going into a burger priest, I would understand that they got their set maybe four or five specialty burgers, and then everything else would be add-ons. I
Burger.
get that they're a bit higher end burger place, but like a Harvey's, they should have their straight up cheeseburgers and, like you said, bacon
Yep.
burgers, just
Yep.
like Wendy's and Burger
Bur-
King. And
Burger Priest is awesome. I've been there once. It's so good.
when Trouble and I
On Queensway.
okay, I used to live around the corner from one, so Trouble and I could walk there, but when Trouble and I were first homeless, we were in a hotel for the first month over Christmas. I don't know if you remember that. Um, and because I was in a hotel and not a shelter where I could cook and do anything, they gave me a food allowance. And there was only one place to eat in the neighborhood. Like there was a Firehouse Subs across the street, which wasn't bad. And then there
Pricey
was
though. Very
yeah,
pricey.
yeah, that was the thing. It was pricey. There were, and then right beside the hotel there was a burger priest. So I went in there one day and I was like, oh, okay, what's the cheapest thing I can get? And Trouble's like, oh, Daddy, can I get a poutine? And so I explained to the guy what's going on. I'm like, oh, it sucks. You know, shit's going down. I'm like, I'm on a food allowance. I got to try and make this work. So the first day I got um just a regular burger priest burger and a poutine for Trouble. The guy gave me a drink with it. It cost me maybe $11. It's all he charged me for it, and I was really shocked. The next day I went in and I said, can I get the same deal you gave me yesterday? He's like, no, 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 no. He goes, don't worry about it. He goes, I got something better. So again, cost me like $11. He put two burgers and two poutines in there, and I ate there for 2.5 weeks, almost every other day, because he was putting extra burgers in there for me.
Fuck,
So I would pay
that's
the
awesome.
11, $12 it cost me, and then I would leave him like $3 or $4 tip. If I had any cash on me, I'd always leave him. I was like, buddy. So when we left, Trouble and I went and said thank you. I'm like, you kept me and my daughter fed for the last 2 weeks because there was nowhere else to eat around here. And he was like, yeah, not a problem. He was really cool. They were Indian guys, really young guys too. And I would bring Elle in. They would come out and play with Elle. They were really cool about it.
That's cool. Good guy.
Yeah, like I was completely shocked. The very second day I went in, I asked for the same order, and he's like, "Yeah, not a problem. Got it all ready because I got the cheese and bacon on it and all the extra. So it cost me a little bit more the second time around because I really enjoyed the first one. So I was like, you know what, I'll pay for the bacon and the cheese and all that. And he gave me the bag. I wrapped it up. I had I just got trouble to throw it in my backpack. We walked back to the hotel. I opened it up, and it was two great big poutines and two big burgers. And I was like, oh,
Yeah, that's awesome. You don't see that much with people.
you don't. And because I've been around the block on all sides where even back in March before I didn't know I wasn't getting my baby bonus and stuff anymore. Right? I'm like, okay, it's like 3 days before the 20th. It usually comes in the 19th or the 20th, right?
Right.
It's like 3 days before that. I'm like, not a problem. I had $4 left in my pocket, and that was it. But I had enough weed to smoke, enough cigarettes, enough Pepsi and food, so I didn't care, right?
Do you
I
get
was okay.
do you get
Huh?
Trillium?
Back in March, I didn't get it.
Did you get it today?
Would it come? Did it come in? No, because I just had my taxes done a couple days ago.
Yeah, so they'll tell you 4 to 6 weeks then.
Oh no, no. She said it'll they'll either back pay me next month or double it up on the next payment. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I really don't care. So if they double it up on the next one, I get twice as much the next payment, right? It's just bonus for me. In a couple months, I'll just have a bonus extra little bit of money that I could depend on, right?
Right.
I'll forget about it between now and then. So
I'm still waiting for my carbon tax from April.
oh shit, she didn't tell me what I was getting. Oh yeah, she did tell me what I was getting for my carbon tax. Oh,
I am getting exactly, I have the paper right here. $168 for the carbon tax 4 times a year. GST is 85 bucks 4 times a year, and Trillium is 68.83 12 times a year.
see, my trillium is 100 and something.
Nice, cause of the kid.
My GST is 100 and change, and my other one that you were talking about, the carbon tax, or the other one was like 200 and change. I think she said, because I got a number. Or I just called a lady on the phone. She called me back yesterday and said, "Yep, let's do it right now." I'm like, "What?" I pulled out my forms because I only got the two forms basically because I'm on ODSP, right?
Right.
And so I gave her the code for the Ontario Works and the code for the ODSP. She put it in. Okay, nope, you don't owe any money. They don't owe you any money. I'm like, perfect. As long as I don't owe them,
Yep.
I'm cool with that. And she
Yeah,
said,
that's
yep.
how it is for me. Ever since the carbon started, well, before it was named something else, but yeah. Anyways, before that, I was getting 1,100 as a refund.
Yeah, so
I'd rather have the fucking month every month instead of it.
yeah, so when she told me, oh, it should be in your account, you should be getting it. I'm like, okay. She goes, well, because you did it a little bit late in May, it might not come until June, July now. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, eventually I'm gonna go to my account and all of a sudden, boom, I'm gonna have some money in it and I'll be happy. I'm
Yep.
like, too bad it couldn't happen between now and the 20th. Or like if I can get some money between now and Trouble's birthday on the 24th, that would be great. You know what I mean? Just I got money put aside for I got like $100 set aside for her because I promised to take her on a shopping spree and out for lunch.
Nice, nice.
So
Good, good. What a good dad.
well, I asked she's turning 10, right?
Yep.
So she's turning 10 years old. It's a big deal.
Of
And
course.
I asked her what she wants to do. I'm like, what do you present wise? And she started listing off all these types of clothes and this and that. And I said, you know what? What if I said, you got this much money? and you can spend it. You can go to this store and spend it. You can spend it at this store. As long as it's all within stuff that Aunt Cindy will let you wear around the house.
Right.
He was like, okay, I'm in. And she gets to take a half a day off school, and
Oh,
we're going to go out. Sorry?
that's sweet.
Yeah. She didn't want to take the whole day off because her birthday's on a Friday, and
Right.
her friends and all that want to see her on her birthday.
Of course.
So, and my sister can't do a great big birthday party for her on the weekend. Like she's inviting two people over. My sister's doing a dinner and a cake for her and all that.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's hard for my sister to do because she's got her own two daughters,
Of
and one of
course.
them's highly autistic, so she can't have a lot of people in the house unless my one niece knows who they are, and because she's met my daughter's friends before, she's a little comfortable with these ones because they've been around a lot. Um, her the one sister's got or the one friend, one of my daughter's friends has got a sister who was in the same class as my autistic niece 2 years ago at the same school. So the family knows each other and they know, so that helps. And then her mom and my mom are on Saturday are going to go over and visit her and have a dinner with her. But because I don't get along with my mom right now, and I definitely don't get along with her mom, it's best that I get to see her on her birthday. She gets a half day off school, and I get to spend all day with her shopping and hanging out and going for dinner and shit like that.
That's cool.
She wants to go to Chuck's Roadhouse. I've never been there before. Apparently, it's pretty good.
I'm wondering if it's the same thing as I saw in Brampton when I was living there.
I've never heard of a Chuck's Roadhouse before, but
Is it like
apparently
is it like a buffet?
no.
Then it's something
It's
different.
like an Outback apparently and stuff like that, but not as expensive as an Outback. They do burgers and country style like steak, ribs, burgers, that Outback style type of thing. The or not Outback. What's that one that does the ribs? That's really good. Every Wednesday they do all you can eat ribs.
No idea. I haven't had ribs in fucking over 10 years.
Oh, dude, if L drop it, if drop it. Hey, if I
do you
had
see
if I
do you see
if
this
I
on the screen?
hold on, kinda yeah.
Pretty much $30 after the taxes. Grape Ace.
It's 1 gram.
Yeah, 1 gram.
That's
Grape
not
Ice.
bad. I find I smoke those just as fast as I smoke regular weed. So
I could have gotten something a bit. This is like 84 to 88%, 89%. And there was this other one for the same price, but not as good of a flavor. But it was like 90 to 98%.
yeah, I was gonna say there's one by a company called General Admission. I
I've
really like
had,
General Admission products. It's called Tiger Blood.
mhm, I've had
Dude,
that.
it tastes like cotton candy melting in your fucking mouth. You take a hit of it. Now they make joints that are dipped and rolled, so their weed is infused, and then they take the outside of the joint and then they roll it in keef,
Nice.
and you get three of them, and it's like $24 for 3 half-gram joints. I know it's expensive, but dude, they're sitting at like the joints are sitting at like 40 something percent, but the cartridges sit close to like just over 90, anywhere between 88 and like 92%. Oh my god, they hit like a brick, dude. I that's one of my favorite. If I have the extra cash and I'm gonna splurge, I'll get anything General Admission does. They're so good, and they usually
Ano-
get their cartridges on sale.
Another brand that's good is Versus.
Yep. Well,
I, I,
when it
I get
comes
them a
to,
lot.
because I get a lot of pre-roll and stuff like that, more than I do cartridges. Right? I like, if I'm going to do that, I don't mind grabbing shatter instead and using the pipe, because I can make a little bit of shatter, like a little drop of shatter, little chunk, or a little drop of fucking oil or something in the
Good for
pipe.
a couple hours.
Like I said, when you smoke it in the fucking tina pipe, the way the bowl sits, it just constantly pools and boils and pools. So you hit it with the torch, and you're like, and then you can set it down, because there's enough smoke that hits into that. It's better than taking it out of your vape pen and stuff, because it hits so clean and so smooth. And then you just set it down, and then that like you said, that one little dab, you could hit it like for every half an hour, every hour, for a good afternoon.
Right.
It's great for hash too.
I haven't had shatter in about fuck, a year or two.
Well, when I was at the shelter across the street, I can't remember, Fire and Flower it was called, and every month at the end of the month they'd have a sale on their hash, their shatter, and their distillate. Right?
Right.
You get they had this awesome. I got this awesome waxy distillate off them once. Oh my god, it was half price. I think I paid $25 for it. It was just it lasted me almost a month, dude. I could put a little hit, and that was me sharing it with some of the people at the. Put a little bit in the pipe and hit it, and it would just the tiniest little bit would just bubble right up. It would start foaming and bubbling up, and it would just go and
I
go and go.
I had this jar of distillate. It was super strong before. So strong that one day when I was smoking it, when I went to bed after smoking it, my heart felt like I was having a heart attack.
I get that when I have the vape pen. See, if I were to like my vape pens for some reason won't charge, and I had a cartridge and I was short on weed, so I actually broke the thing, took it apart, and was able to get the liquid out, and I was putting it into pipe and smoking it that way. Not a problem. I could smoke it all day, but for some reason, when I smoke through a vape pen, whether it's nicotine or weed, my lungs get sore. And when I go to bed at night, I feel like I can't breathe after about an hour. I'll be lying down and I'm like, and it feels like
My
the top
heart
of my.
was pounding through my chest, like boom, 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 boom. And it's fucking. I was
Hold on one
fucking
second. Keep
scared.
talking.
Okay, I'll keep talking. Do 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 do. Oh god, yeah, I can't wait to see wrestling tonight. Should be a good show. 2 weeks tomorrow is a big wrestling.
Yeah, I've been trying to catch up on all the old wrestling stuff that I've missed over the last 10, 20 years.
That's a lot of shit to catch up on.
Well, only the stuff I'm interested in, like some of the wrestlers that were coming into it just as I stopped watching, right? Like I stopped paying attention altogether when Undertaker lost his streak. I was like, that's bullshit. He should have just retired with his full streak. It should have been part of the whole mystery of his whole thing. And I hate Brock Lesnar to begin with, so losing to him pissed me off even more. So I stopped watching wrestling around that time.
Come to the show. Come to the show.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to. But
Not you.
I remember when Bray Wyatt and all them started coming in, and Randy Orton and all them. I was a little iffy with them, but now catching up on all the stuff
Come
over the
to the
last
show.
couple of years. Huh?
Scorpio
It-
called me.
oh, Oh, you gonna cancel the show?
No, no, no. I was telling her to come to the show. She wanted to talk. I'm like,
Oh,
come to the show. I can't hear a thing she's saying because of my headset on.
and I'm blabbering away.
It's all good. I was
Oh,
hearing both.
you remember the robin underneath my deck I told you about? The
Yeah.
robin's nest? She had 4 little babies. 2 days ago they weren't there, and today they are. So they must have hatched yesterday sometime. I walked underneath and looked up to check under to throw up some worms about an hour ago, and I saw 4 little heads sticking over the edge of the nest, just looking at me. I was like, "Oh, hi!" And then she came flying over my head and landed on top of them and looked at me. And I threw a couple of worms up onto the ledge for her. And she looked at me, and I walked away and sat down. And as soon as I sat down, I could see where she is on her nest from where I'm sitting. And as soon as I sat down and started watching her, she got out of her nest and picked up the worms. I like animals.
Cool. So what you do today?
Fuck all, really. Hold on 1 second. God damn it.
Oh,
Leave
the
the fucking
northern
car
lights are
alone.
over her house.
Sorry?
The northern lights is over Scorpio's house.
Oh, yeah, there's supposed to be a whole bunch of them going on all over the place tonight.
Cool.
No, I didn't do much. I sat out here in the backyard in the sun most of the day, just relaxing, listening to music, playing solitaire, smoking.
Cool.
It was supposed to rain all day today and off and on and be nice tomorrow. Now it was nice most of the day today, and it's supposed to rain tomorrow, and we got that walk to do.
Right. Wish. Okay. I made my wish. Now,
Oh, that's who you're talking to. Sorry.
oh, you just looked at chat.
Yeah, 'cause I forget about chat sometimes because usually on panel most people have stuff going on, and I'm trying to watch that as well.
No.
And on my
What
phone, I don't know
no,
how.
no, what you mean to say is usually on most panels, the host of the channel ignores the chat.
No, not on the ones I go to recently.
The ones I've seen. What's up, Decal? She's going to be a queen. Amazing dad. Look
What's
at
up,
that.
Scorpio? What's up, Decal? I'm looking. Thank you, Scorpio. I see that. I appreciate that.
Hope you're having a good day there, Decal and Scorpio.
Should take some pictures of that Scorpio, the Northern Lights and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember. I remember
Or
when I used to
video.
go camping. I used to go camping on the top of Blue Mountain, and in the springtime around this time of year, they would come on some. Oh, it was so nice to see
What town is Mount St. Louis in?
Blue Mountain. It's on the other side of Blue Mountain, Mount St. Louis Moonstone.
Right? But
It's Blue Mountain,
it's
Mount
it,
St. Louis Moonstone.
yeah, but it's not in Barrie.
No, no, it's in Collingwood, just outside of Collingwood.
Colin, that's it. I was talking to the lady that drives me to the vampires today
Oh, okay.
about it, about Mount St. Louis, and I'm like, fuck, if only I could remember. Colin.
Yeah, it's just outside of Collingwood, up in the Blue Mountains.
Yeah, which isn't too far from Barrie.
Nah, it takes about an hour and a bit to get there from here. If you know some of the faster routes, like I, but to get to where I used to go camping on the top of
I
Blue
used to,
Mountain,
yeah.
like I said, it's an hour and a bit to Collingwood from here, and then it would take another 40 minutes to get to the top of the mountain on the trails that you had to take. You could take your car and truck up there, but there's only so far you can go, and you couldn't drive fast. So.
Nice, man. That's cool. Yeah, I miss Mount St. Louis. Oh, it's the best ski resort in Ontario.
The best one I've been to, and I don't even like skiing or snowboarding.
What?
Yeah,
This guy.
no, not for me. Yeah, I used to hang out at Horseshoe because when I lived in Hillsdale, I could drive to Horseshoe Valley Ski Resort in like 10 minutes from my place.
Or shoe
And
in, in Talisman.
a buddy of mine used to work at the Horseshoe restaurant. I can't remember the name of it. But he used to work in there and have to close up most of the time. And this is before they went 24 hours and stuff. So I would go pick him up. He'd call me, hey, do you want to pick me up? And we would bring the GTs. I'd load up the car with all of the guys, and we'd bring the GTs. And the guys that would run the lifts, all the young kids and stuff that were still behind, we'd run the list. They'd run us up to the top on our GTs. We'd come down and we'd go for a couple hours, like till like 3, 4 in the morning. We'd hang out on the hills, and
Fuck,
it was just a blast.
I used to go there all the time in the 80s, early 80s.
That's when they had the two ski hills at Horseshoe. Now it's only the one. They used to have the
Really?
two sides. They used to have the two sides where one was the downhill skiing and all that, and the other side
Yep.
was
Cross
downhill skiing.
country.
But yeah, it was more cross country. It had some
Yep.
smaller downhills
Yep.
for learners, but it was all cross country. That's a world class golf course now. They my my father in law or my ex father in law, um his house. He's got a house on the 10th hole of the golf course there, and when he retired from Kodak, like 15 years ago when Kodak shut down, he was forced to retire. He got a job up there on the golf course. He's the guy that, you know, gives people he just sits on his ass. He's the supervisor. He gives everybody their jobs. And then when he comes in, he sits at the booth and gives them their tea times and just sets them off. All right, here you go.
In my pocket. They're in my pocket, Scorpio.
But yeah, he does the golf as a retirement job just for fun because he's a huge golf fanatic. But when they do the big tournaments, when all the big golfers come by and do the tournaments up there, uh, he used to get to work it. So he got to meet all the big guys like Woods and Weir and all those guys when they would come through and do the.
Yeah, when I first started skiing, I started the very first time was at the cross country resort that is now the golf course, and then the year after that, across the road to Horseshoe. Give me the big mountains, bitch.
Was that on school trips?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that's see living in Barrie. Um, we would when I lived in Hillsdale, going to school in Hillsdale, our
I was
trips
in
were
Newmarket.
our trips were to Horseshoe, and then a lot of schools started going because it was cheaper to go to Snow Valley
Yep.
because it was more of a kid
I've been
style
there too.
because they Snow Valley is now geared. They got their skiing and snowboarding slopes, but they also turned a lot of it into tubing for the
Okay.
kids. It's more fun, dude. I've gone to Snow Valley. Just buddies of mine, and on a whim, we're like middle of winter. We got basically just jeans and shoes, and we're in the car. And we're all high. And we're like, "Yo, let's go to Snow Valley and do some tubing." We rush off to Snow Valley, go tubing for like 4 or 5 hours, get absolutely soaked and blitzed.
The good old days, eh?
Oh, it's like the park where I take Elle to walk in, Sunnydale Park, up where the off leash dog park is now, where it's all fenced off and they made it all nice and neat for the dogs and stuff. I remember like 25, 26 years ago being up at the top of there with tents and stuff set up with my buddies, drinking with little bonfires going, just drinking and having Roman candle wars, shooting each other and shit like that.
Wow.
And now it's an off-leash dog park. All the big sewage things that not sewage, but the sewer system and stuff that were open that we can get into. They filled them all in. You can't get into them anymore.
Yeah, I can't wait till tomorrow and get that vape cartridge. I wish I could have done it today, but I looked at my bank account too late before the show started. I only had like an hour and a half when I noticed it till the show start. And I'm like, that's not enough time to go downtown and fucking get a cartridge and come back. I'm like, fuck it. So I made the plans. I booked the bus ride for tomorrow. I already bought and paid for the fucking cartridge. Life is good. Life will be
Don't
even
they?
better tomorrow with the great cartridge.
Don't they deliver?
Not this place. It's a local.
My local place, I could walk there in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on how L's walking. But they'll deliver
Oh wow,
as long as it's an over $25. They deliver for free,
wow, that would be nice.
and they deliver right up until 10 o'clock at night because they close at 11. From 2 in the afternoon to 10 o'clock at night.
That would be sweet. I'd be coughing my ass off right now. Then
Yeah.
I got
You
like
know,
I got
I can
like a
tell.
fucking millimeter left in my cartridge.
All right, Scorpio, drive safe.
Yes, Scorpio, be safe. It's what 8, 9, 10, 11, 12:40 where 12:41 where she is at after midnight.
Where's she going to get some?
I have no idea, but I guess they're
Shit.
open 24 hours. Uh-oh, she got some smoke today. She's happy and horny.
Where's Scorpio again?
Ireland.
It is. I couldn't remember if it was Ireland or Scotland, and I don't want to offend. I'm pretty sure I couldn't offend her. She doesn't. But I couldn't remember if it was Ireland or Scotland is where Scorpio was from.
Oh, gas station. Got it.
I tried to talk my ex into because they got Costco's in Ireland, right? And when I first started at Costco, I was really doing well and this and that. And I found out that because a guy I hadn't seen before, all of a sudden he's here and he's talking. Everybody's talking to him like he's been around the company forever, and apparently he had for like 10 years. But for the last 5 years of it, it was in Ireland. He had gone to Ireland when they to a Costco. He put a transfer in. They had an opening, and boom, they sent him over there. And
Wow.
he worked in Ireland for 5 years at a Costco. Met a girl, got married, and turned around and came back.
Oh, wow.
And I tried to talk my ex into it. I'm like, you ever thought about going to Ireland? Wouldn't it be cool to live in another country? Like anywhere in the world that there's a Costco, I could have applied for a position, and they would transfer me if they had to, as long as my papers were up to date, and it was all
A,
cool.
a lot of rain in Ireland. A lot.
I don't care. Better than snow.
No way. Are you nuts?
You don't have to shovel the rain, buddy.
Yeah, but this you don't get wet with the snow unless you're rolling in it.
I'm not made of sugar. I won't melt.
Me neither, but I just don't like having wet clothes cling to me like saran wrap.
I hate the cold to the point where the snow and I are. It was funny when I was a kid. It was the sun and I. The sun and I were mortal enemies because I would forget to put sunscreen on, and I would burn to a crisp, and I wouldn't be able to go outside for a day or two in the summer. Now that I'm older and I've had my problems with the cold, it's like nope. I'd rather
Fur.
fucking I'd rather move to Aruba or Australia or fucking Arizona. in the fucking heat.
Fuck Arizona. That's in the States. Fuck
Just
that
because
shit.
it's just because I like their gun laws in Arizona. They got some of the best gun laws in the states in Arizona. So I always say Arizona.
Dude, they couldn't even give me 50 American million dollars to move anywhere in the US. I'd be like, no, thank you. I don't need that money. No, 50
I
million
would,
I would turn down to live in the US. I would say no, thank you.
dude. I would take the money, go live there for a week, and then screw off to some island somewhere where they can never be found again.
But what if they say you have to stay there?
Well, there's a difference. That's a difference. If that's not part of the clause, then yeah.
What up,
Or
Mudslinger? Mudslinger says come to England.
I don't know if they could handle me over there. The island's a little small. Like one of my goals in life, I've always wanted to go to Ireland to visit and Scotland, just because I love those two places. I really do, and I think I've got heritage you know that go there, that come from there. I know on my mom's side, my real
Got
mom,
that.
I know that she's got Irish on her side. That's where the red hair and all that comes from. Oh, some of the red
I
hair.
have Irish in me too. Irish, English, and Canadian.
I found out a cool fact about Ireland. If you can prove that you come from Irish lineage, you can get an Irish passport.
Huh.
No problem. Yeah, you can go to Ireland and get an Irish passport if you can prove that you come from Irish lineage.
I can't prove it.
But I think that's a cool stat. Could you imagine? Like, I could you get your family tree, or you do a DNA test, and you find out, okay, it goes to here. Boom, you can go to Ireland, and Ireland have the best
Hope you're
passports
doing
for
good,
you
Mud.
for, for world travel. Their passports are better than Canadian passports for world travel. That's kind of neat. You get access to trains and shit like that. Yeah. I was watching this thing the other day. Thank you, Scorpio. Yeah, if your genealogy, you can prove your genealogy. Yeah, and there's a lot of bonuses that come with the passport, the Irish passport,
Huh,
like access to the European trains that travel across Europe and all over the place. And there's other stuff.
damn.
I think it's neat.
I'd go there for a visit one day if I had
I
the
would love
money.
to go to Ireland.
I'd go to many places. I'd go to Ireland. I'd go to Scotland. I'd go to England.
Yeah, I would like to do all three of those places. But if I could live in any
Cuba.
one of those,
Cuba. Cuba is on the top.
I've been to Cuba. I've been to Cuba 3 times. I've been to Aruba once.
I want to go to
Um,
Havana. Havana with the old cars parade that they do all the time.
that is cool to see. It really is.
Oh yeah. I've watched videos on it. I'm like, yeah. If I ever come in money, I'm going
My
there.
like
I don't care if they're communists.
say that again. What, the Cubans?
Yep.
Oh, screw it, dude. Cubans are some of the nicest fucking people I've ever run into.
Yep.
I got lost. We went on a trip we weren't near Havana. It was our second trip to Cuba. We had gone on a bus trip into the little town we were supposed to go into. We were hanging out with this other couple, and they're like, "We're gonna go over here," and I'm like, "Yeah, all right, not a problem." They disappeared. My ex and I, we got turned around. We were in some dirty neighborhood and whatever this place was. The people were the nicest. We could have got robbed, and you know we ran into some kid that recognized me from the resort. He's like, "Oh, you're the one with the earrings," because I gave the kid a bunch. I went to Ardennes and bought a shit ton of fucking cheap earrings and stuff like that. And he saw these black diamond ones. So I gave them to him one day. He saw me and my ex walking around town lost. He brought us back to Main Street, figured out where our bus was, and got us back to our bus and ready to go in time before we got stuck in town. I honestly got the Cuban people I ran into are some of the nicest people I've ever met. They really are. Them and
I've
people in Aruba.
I've
And
talked
those
to a
are,
few of them. I haven't met any, but I've talked to quite a few.
I worked with a few Cubans up here in Canada. They're always awesome.
Oh, they love us. Compared to the Americans, they love Canadians. You go to Cuba and say you're Canadian, they'll treat you like king.
Yeah, they also like you get a lot of people from England and Ireland in Cuba. I remember all three times I was in Cuba, I ran into a group of English dudes that loved to drink, and I was big into drinking back in the day, so I could sit and drink with them. They were all shocked that I could put down the drinks just as much as they could. We'd sit up until like 3, 4 in the morning, just keep the fucking bar running and just running. Oh yeah, they're crazy though, man. Fucking English people when they get drunk, holy fuck. These dudes were absolutely insane. Like
They like to fight them
you're talking
English.
2:30, 2:33 in the morning. There was at the resort we were at, there was this old rickety pier dock thing. It must have gone about 150, 200 feet out. Um, it started in the sand, and you just walk, and it take you a good long way out. And it was an awesome place to go scuba diving and snorkeling around because you could run into schools of barracuda and other fish and shit. But these guys at like 2:30 in the morning, they go out to the very end of the dock and fucking jump off. And I'm like, yo, there's sharks and shit out here. I'm like, I'll sit on the end. I'll pick your pieces up at the end. I'll hold on to the fucking beer and alcohol. I'll keep it fucking cool, but I ain't jumping in. These guys would get so fucking hammered, they just jump in and want to fight fucking whatever deep sea creature they could find.
Damn.
Yeah,
English crazy Scorpio says. Yeah,
yeah. Drink. Honestly,
don't have a bunch of fucking British people go watch a football, aka soccer game, and drink and get drunk. They will fight,
they
guaranteed.
would they would watch. Oh yeah, because they would watch. They would watch the soccer games on the TVs and stuff. Because in Cuba they'll get in different channels like international channels they'll try and find, and Cuba loves soccer too. So there was a lot of soccer on a lot of the bars and the little areas. It's got the drinks and the TVs all in around the resort and stuff. Yeah, there were a lot of soccer games on. It's funny. It was soccer all day long, and hockey all night long. It was like because I noticed in Cuba, it was mostly Canadians and British people I run into. That was the 90% of the people were, and then you get a lot of people, a lot of Dutch people. Um, I ran into a lot of Dutch people as well. Um, some people from Ireland and Scotland, but mostly English and Canadian people. And like I said, some people from Dutch people. Ran into a couple South African people, which I thought was kind of crazy. I'm like, you guys already live in a place that's hot. Why would you want to come to Cuba?
Right? But yeah, I'd love to go there. It'd be so much fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Scorpio, that's funny.
I got about 5 minutes left in the show
Oh.
till wrestling
What wrestling
starts.
event tomorrow? SmackDown, right?
No, tonight is SmackDown.
Today. What's on Saturday nights?
Nothing.
I thought they had. I thought there was. I thought there
two,
was
two,
wrestling on.
2 weeks tomorrow will be a Saturday night, and it will be a pay-per-view.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try and save my data so I can come watch that with you.
Cool, cool.
Yeah. No, I didn't know SmackDown was Friday nights. I know there's Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought it was on Saturdays. I didn't know it was Friday.
Well, originally I believe it was Thursday.
Yeah, I thought it was Mondays and Thursdays. But it's been a long time since I watched wrestling. Some
Good night,
wrestling.
Scorpio, my dear. If you want to call me tomorrow, Scorpio, if you have the day off or after work, you can. You have a good sleep.
Have a good one. Talk to you later, Scorpio.
Go break into more next door.
All right, you might as well call it because I gotta go get. She's taking a big shit. I gotta go pick up her too.
All right, buddy. Have a
All right.
good night.
If you decide to go live tomorrow or Sunday or whatever, let me know. If you're gonna play
Okay.
the game and go on, let me know. You haven't played your
All
game
right.
in a while.
It has been a while. All right.
All right. Talk to you then.
All right, bud. Have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Nice. You have anything planned for the weekend, Mud? Lumberjack? Cool, cool. Going out Sunday with your mate? Sweet. Sweet. Awesome. Well, I think I'm going to end the show, but I thank Ogre, I thank Scorpio, thank you, Mudslinger, I thank Decal for coming. Hope everyone has a good night. And, I don't know. We may or may not be live tomorrow. Who knows? Just keep your eyes out. If not, we'll see you on Tuesday, folks. But, yes, have a good night and peace out. You too, Mudslinger.